Okay, let's go ahead and start on our cover for my simple stories Merry and Bright 6x6 photo album, mini album. First off, I cut two of the chipboards 6x6, so you're going to need two cut at 6x6, and then one for your spine cut at 2x6, and those are the three pieces of chipboard you will need. You will also need two sheets of cardstock cut at 8x12. And then for my guideline, I always come down and score at 1 inch, and that's my bottom for the bottom guideline. So then I'm going to add my two papers together, my two sheets together, so we can create our album. And I just remembered I did not bring up my score paper, so I will have to go get that. Be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I have moved my video recorder downstairs, so that way I'm able to record more conveniently for myself and not have to listen to the TV blaring in the background. So you're going to have your two pieces of 8x12, and you're going to add them to score tape them together. I'm using the 6x6 score tape sheets, which are the perfect size for a 6x6 album, because they are the exact size I need. So I'm going to go ahead and add my score sheets to this. And then I'm going to need one that's going to be 2 inches by 6. So I'm just going to cut this one at 2. I'm telling you, these sheets are so awesome. It makes making your project so much easier and quicker. So, have that here. So, to start with, I'm going to put my spine down on the seam where I added the two 8x12 sheets of cardstock together. And like I said, I'm using my score line as a guide. And I'm just going to set that there. And then I'm going to get my score tape, my 1/4, and then add it here. And add it here. And I want to apologize for the tacky Band-Aid on my thumb. I took a chunk of my finger out the other day at a craft fair that I was at, and I'm telling you what, you would have thought that I cut my finger off the way I was bleeding. So, and I've been cleaning today, cleaning the downstairs, so I could set this up so I would have it available and ready to do my tutorials, my videos. So my thumb looks and Band-Aid looks nasty, and I will change it tonight when I take a shower, but in the meantime, I apologize that I'm you having to see a nasty looking Band-Aid on my thumb. Alright, so I'm going to add this one here. does not look like it is the right size. And I'm worried now that I messed up. I did. Let me cut another one. Let me pull this off very gently. Hopefully I can. Without tearing my paper. Because that is not 6 inches. Alright, throw that one away. I'm going to cut another one. So I'm going to cut one at 2. I definitely need a sharper blade in my cutting. By 6. Let's cut another one of these at 2. I will have to get a blade before I cut paper now. Okay. It looks a lot better. Ooh. Alright, then I'm going to cut these off at 1 inch. So what I do is I bring my cardboard up to the 1 inch and then cut that off. I just banged up this whole thing, my apologies. Let's see. Keep you guys in the, this one at 1. Alright. Tape here. And because this is a small album, I am going to use my art glitter glue on the seam, the sides, and save my score tape. Because I personally think the art glitter glue works better than the score tape does. But and run glue. I had a wipe. I gotta find what I did with it. There it is. And I cracked this when I folded it earlier. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue there, and you'll never know the difference. A little album cover. I'm going to cut this 12 by 12 into, I'm going to cut it, it's a 6, I'm going to go 5 and 7/8. And then 5 and 7/8 on this side. We won't be using all of this, but both pieces, but I want to make sure I have enough, so I'm going to measure it here. And actually, I might be able to, I shouldn't even have to cut that other one there. I can use that one right there. So let me cut this one to 5 and 7/8. Okay. because it's going to not be on the spine, it's actually going to be over here, and I'll be covering that with pattern paper. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. Now I am going to put this one down with the glue. And this is going to overlap perfectly, so that's going to go right there. This one, I am going to, because it's a bigger piece, I don't like to use the glue, or glitter glue on the bigger pieces. I like to use score tape. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this one with score tape. And the reason for this is the glue against the score tape doesn't hold as well on your seams. So that's why I use my score tape, because it adheres better. I just don't have good luck when I'm trying to add glue to something, to score tape. It doesn't seem to want to hold as well. And for my score tape, I always go across lengthwise versus coming down like this. So that way, when it meets this part here, it will adhere to it and not fight against it. Lined up evenly. Then I'm going to go in and remove my score tape. And any that is sticking over the edge, I just push back under. So I've got a nice clean edge. There you go. There's our cover, quick and easy. Now let's do our hinge and our pages. So for the pages, they're going to be 5.5 by 5.5, leaving the gap between the 6-inch cover. And you're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock, 12 by 12, cut at 5.5 by 11. So you're going to need 4 total, cut at 5.5 by 11. Okay. You're going to score the 11.5 top, 5.5 down. You want to score it 1/2 inch. And then you want to score it, I'm sorry, wait a minute, I've got it backward. So you want to score it 5.5, and you want to score it 11. Okay, so you want to score at 5.5, and then score at 11. And those are going to be, and you're going to need 4 of those. Now I've already made 2 of my pockets, so this is what they're going to look like. You're going to have them, so you're going to actually, it's going to go into the hinge, and then you're going to have a pocket for your side tags. So go ahead and fold those over on your score line. And then on the 1/2 inch one, I do miter just a little bit, not a whole lot. This is going to be on your hinge. This is going to be on your bottom, so I do miter it a little bit, so you have a clean cut on both sides. And then you're going to add your glue. Or your adhesive. You can use whatever you prefer. I mean, I love my art glitter glue, and that's what I'm using. You can use score tape, so that's your quick and easy page right there. Okay. Just make sure you're matching up the edges. So again, I'm going to score that one up. I'm going to miter corner. And I'm going to score this one over. Make sure I'm lined up on my edges. Fold this over. Add my glue. And I have my 4 main pages now. To go with the pages, you're going to need, now when you adhere these onto your hinge, you want that seam where you folded them and put that, you want that at the bottom. So make sure your pages are all sitting where that seam is at the bottom. So those are my 4 pages. Then you're going to need to cut 4 your photo tags for the side pocket at 5 1/4 by 5 inches. So that's 5 1/4 by 5 inches, and you need 4 of those. And those are going to go in as a side pocket here, in your side pocket here. Right here. These are going to be your pull-out tags. So you're going to need 4 of those. For your hinge, you're going to need a piece of cardstock that is 5 1/2 by 9 1/4. So 5 1/2 by 1 9/4. I'm going to go ahead and make one with you. Although mine is already made, but I will go ahead and make it with you. So you're going to score at 1 1/4. And then you're going to score at 1 1/2. You're going to score at 2, 2 1/2, 3, 3 1/2, 4, 4 1/2, 5, 5 1/2, 6, 6 1/2, 7, and then 7 1/4. And that's going to be your hinges for your 4 pages. So you want to fold the first fold on the 1 1/4 under, and then your next one, you're going to fold the 1/4 here. You're going to fold that one up. Okay. So this goes under, and then your next two, which is a 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch, fold that in the middle. And that's going to be your hinge. So I'm going to go ahead and use score tape on this because it's a little bit quicker and a little bit easier for you to see on video than versus the art glitter glue, because you have to work a little bit quicker with the art glitter glue. So what I'm doing is, that's my first half, I'm skipping 2, I'm adding the tape, skipping 2, adding my score tape. Skipping 2 and adding my score tape. So go ahead and pull off your first score tape and put it down. There's your first hinge. Alright. Grab the middle, so you're going to skip one, you've got a tape, and you want to fold the next one over. It's going to create your next hinge. Okay. Open it, and then you're going to fold it down over. So you're going to have 1 1/4, a 1/4, a hinge, a 1/2, a hinge, and you're going to have another 1/2, and then score tape. Pull your score tape off, and you want to take this next 1/2, fold it over on the score line, burnish down, and then you're going to open it up, and then you've got a 1/2, and then fold that over. So that way you've got your hinges. So there's 3 hinges. Then got another 1/2. And then you want to remove your score tape. And this 1/2 here, you want to fold it over on the score line. Burnish down. And that's going to give you your 4th hinge. So you've got your 4 hinges. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got your 4th, and then you got your 1 1/4. On this side, you got your 1/4 inch, and then you got your leftover. So what you want to do is, I'm going to, I'll just use. So what I do is, I just add my tape right here to the back of my hinges. Down. I'm going to cut off any excess that's hanging over. Okay. And then keeping your 4th, fold that over. So you should have a 1/4 of an inch, a hinge, and another hinge. And then you got another 1/4 of an inch that you want to fold that one over here, right there. And then I'm going to add my score tape to here. And to here. fold this one over all the way. So now I have and I'll tell you what, it should probably be only 9 inches instead of 9 1/4, because I do have about 1/4 of an inch left of hanging over, so I'm just going to trim that off. So that's what your hinge should look like. And then your pages are going to sit right up there on this one. Just like this. Just like that. That's how your pages are going to sit. And then you'll have your side pocket. And these are going to go down in here like that. So there you go. Okay. So that is your album cover and your hinges, and then your 4 pages and 4 tags. Now, I'm not going to add my hinge to mine as of yet because I'm going to put paper behind mine. So that's my next step, is to go ahead and start decorating and add the paper. I'm going to add paper here, and then I'll have a piece of paper here on my hinge. Then I'll attach my hinge. I decorate and do my papers before I add them to my hinge. Some people add the pages and then do the decorations. I don't. I do my pages separately, and then I'll add them to my hinge. Now, one thing that you will want to do to your hinge before you add it to, just to make it easier, is add your, now you can use your art glitter glue on this one, but I like to use my score tape on my hinges, as I do on my covers as well. If they're larger covers, I'll use score tape and only use my art glitter glue as a on the edges against the chipboard. So you want to add your score tape to all 4 hinges so that they're ready to go when your pages are ready to be added. So go ahead and add that. Now, everybody does it a little bit different. I try to keep it close to the top when I add it. These are 1/2 inch hinge, so I am using 3/8 of a score tape on this. And I'm adding it right to the top so I can make sure that my pages go all the way down and I don't have tape showing or exposed at the bottom. So I add it to the top of the hinges, and then cleaning it up a little bit because I have a tendency to always have a little extra at the top. So there's my hinges all ready to go in my book. All right. Okay, we'll be back to add to the pages here in a little bit. All right, so we have our album cover made, our hinges made. We have our pages completed or ready to complete. So we have 4 pages that should be put together. And then we also have our 4 inserts, mat inserts for the side pockets. Now, the nice thing about this album is that it is so easy and quick, and it allows you to actually use a collection that you might have a few pages left over. So I already made the one with the Simple Stories, Merry and Bright. I showed you the walkthrough on that one already, so I went ahead and created the pages and the album cover again, and I found I had a few pages left over from Echo Park's Merry and Bright collection, and some stickers and some ephemera. And then I had some 6x6 papers too. So I had I have one full sheet, and then I had a couple of half sheets of 12x12s, and then a semi-pack of 6x6 papers. So that's what I'm going to use and to make this next album. And what's nice about this album is you can make it to fit the collection you're working with. So on my Simple Stories one on this album, the the tags I made for the cutout. So this one happened to be a 4x6 cutout. This happened to be a 3x4 cutout. This one was a 4x6, which I cut down to make my little label there. This one is a 4x4, and then it was also a 4x4, it looks like. And then this one was a 4x4, which I cut down, and then this was a 3x4. So you don't have to in order to make your album, you want to kind of make it according to what your collection is. So if it's a new collection, look at your cutouts, figure out which ones you want to use. So being that I have very few or not that many with this other collection that I'm going to use up, and it's a great way to use up leftover paper from a collection, is so I've had to change a little bit of the tags, the cutout tags, or the flips in the book. So now the first page is the cover, and it is going to remain the same. It's going to be, I'm using a 6x6 cut apart. Let me find my pages here. Okay, a 6x6 cut apart. Because my book is 6x6, I did want to cut it down. I don't want it the whole length of my album. So I cut it back down to I just cut the length down on this. So I cut it down to, it looks like it's 5.5. So, and then I'm going to mat it onto my cardstock. And my cardstock I cut at, so this is 4 by 5.5. It's not really 5.5. It's 5 and 3/8 is what it is what I cut this down to. So I cut my cardstock at 4 3/4 by 5.5, and I'm going to score at a 1/2 inch on the side to make my flip. So I'm going to bring that down and score it at a 1/2 inch, fold it over. And then I'm going to add this to this right here, and that's going to be my flip. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and add this here, and it's going to go right onto the actual front cover. So I'm using my art glitter glue, and I'm just going to match it right up to the seam there of my paper. I want to bring it down, make it even. Now I don't really measure things, I just kind of eyeball them. And so you want to go ahead and just put that down. Now I did, like I said, I'm using leftover paper, so I happen to have some of the bigger print from a 12 by 12 on this. So I went ahead and cut it down to fit my book, which is my page is a 6 by 6. So I cut it down to 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. I'm gonna ink my edges using Tim Holtz vintage photo ink. I don't want it real dark, but I just want enough to cover up the white. So we're going to lay that down here, catch it up. ink my edges on my cut apart. And I like this one. I had like 3 cut aparts left of the 4x6. And I like this one for the simple fact that you could add a photo right there at the very beginning in it. Or you can even do journaling on it. So I'm going to set that right there. Right in the middle. And you know what I already did? I already messed up because I did not put a magnet down. So I will have to fix that. And I'll have to go back in and put a magnet on there, which I can do because I can do is do like something like that and put a magnet underneath it. So I'll do that. So there's your front cover, okay? Now let's go to the first page. In the first page, now I'm going to mirror my pages together with one another, and so I'm using the same pattern as this one, but I'm using the 6x6 paper. So I'm just going to ink my edges on that. This is cut to 5 3/8 by 5 3/8 to fit my 5.5 by 5.5 page. So I'm going to set that down on there. See if I can get it even there. No, it's not going to go even on me. Then I cut a piece, but it was 4 1/4. Nope, I cut it 4 by 4. No, I did. 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 is what I cut it at. And I'm just going to ink that edge on that. And adhere it to the red artesian cardstock for matting. I want to mat it. So I'm going to go ahead and set it on here. And then I'm going to cut that out. And I got ephemera pieces all over the place here. Not real organized today, sorry. And then I'm just going to add my glue to the back of this mat. And I'm going to adhere it on the top of it. And that's page 1. Super easy, super quick. Okay, I'm going to flip that over. And page 2, now for page 1 I will go back in and afterwards and decorate with some ephemera, but just to save time I'm just going to go ahead and show you the basic pages. So page 2 is our pocket on this side, and then with a little booklet, and then page 3 is going to be our trifold. So we'll go ahead and work on those. So the pocket you're wanting, these are 5 1/2, so you want to cut a piece that is going to be 3 1/2 by 6 1/2. Score it on your 3 sides. Go ahead and miter your corners. And there's your pocket, and that's going to fit right down here on the bottom. Now, because it is a pocket, I am going to I'm going to go ahead and add my paper to this because of that. Okay. So for the bottom piece, I'm going to use this for the top. And I cut this one at 3 1/4 by 5 3/8. And because I cut it a little bit longer so it'll fit into the pocket, I'm going to go ahead and add it. This I'm going to cut down. This should be 3 inches. So I'm going to cut this one down to 2 7/8. Adding my glue to it, the back of it. I'm going to put it on my pocket. And I will add some type of a ephemera sticker or something, because I do have a whole sheet of stickers left over as well from that collection. So I'll have plenty to do to dress it up a little bit more. But like I said, I just wanted to show you the basic. So this would stay the same. Go ahead and match it up. And then you're going to cut a piece of cardstock, which I don't have down here. I didn't bring it down. But for the booklet, you're going to cut a piece of cardstock 8 1/2 by 4 1/2. So, and then you want to fold it at 4 1/4. I'm sorry. It is 4 1/2 by 9, and then you want to score it at 4 1/2. So you have a 4 1/2, 4 1/2 here, and that will fit right down in there. So that's your booklet. So the booklet page is 4 1/2 by 9. And then you're going to score it at 4 1/2. And then I did round my corners on this one. So that's going to go in there. So that's page 1. So that's page 1, page 2, page 3. You want to grab another one of your pages. Making sure that your seam is at the bottom. And this one again, I'm going to mirror the same paper on this one as I did on that one. So this paper at the top, I cut it 3 1/2 by 5 3/8. Like I said, this is great to use up those leftover papers in a collection, because you can see I'm able to do this, going to be able to do this whole album with this collection. What little I had left of it. And I didn't have that much. Had 2 sticker sheets. How I got 2, I don't know. But I got 2 sticker sheets. I got some ephemera left. And I had a couple of 3 by 4 cut out journaling cards. And like 3 4 by 6 journaling cards. So now this is cut the 2 7/8 by 3 by 5 3/8. Because I wanted it to match up with this when I laid it, so it looked like the same. And I'm just going to add that in there like that. So I'm just kind of layering it so you can see I can take this out. I'm mirroring the pages together, okay? Now this one we're going to do a trifold on. And what you want to do is you want to cut your piece of cardstock at 4 by 9. And then you're going to score it at 3 and 6. Okay? So you got 3, and then 6, and then 9. And what I did on this one is, that's going to go right up here. Now, you can put a magnet here and not put the ribbon like I did. I used a ribbon on mine, and I'm going to go ahead and use the ribbon again on mine. So I'm not going to adhere mine down, but you will see as you open it up, you've got your trifold there. Alright, so I am going to use ribbon on this one as well, so I didn't bring magnets down. What I did do though was I had this cut apart that somehow I cut it, it was part of a cut apart or a journaling card, so I just went ahead and trimmed it down a little bit more, matted it onto cardstock, and then I cut my paper to fit this, and then I'll be adding this to that, and then for the inside I'm just going to go with the green on the inside. So I've got, this was paper left over again from the collection, and then I'm going to adhere my ribbon here at the bottom, behind on the back, here on the top before I put this down, and then I'm going to have a tie in, so that way it will tie. And then I'll have my little Santa Claus here on top. And I'll probably pop it up with some dimensions just to give it some lift there. So that is your third page, okay? Flip it over to the fourth page, and we're going to do these 4 and 5 page. This one is going to be a top flap at the top and a flap coming down at the bottom. So, and it is magnetic as well there, and then I just did a cut out there on that one. So this one you're going to want to cut 2 pieces of cardstock. For the top, you want to cut it at 3 by 5.5, and then you want to score it at 1/2 on the top. For the bottom, you want to cut 4 3/4 by 5.5, and you want to score it at 1/2 inch on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and miter my corners on these. I'm going to go ahead and add my bottom first. Add my top. And I've got this. So let me find my papers that I was using on this one. So I'm going to use the Santa on the bottom, which I cut there. I'm going to use the back side of the 6 by 6, which is the reindeer, which are going to go in here, right there. So, and then let me see. What am I going to use for the top? Let me look at the paper. The reason I want to do this one is the fact that see what I have here. I'm really liking this, the back part of that one. It's not going to be wide enough. It's cut down. That was an extra piece. So, like I said, I'm just going through scraps here. This is what I'm using to put this whole book together. That's a cut apart. Use that. I wonder if I use this. I think I will. So I'm just going to use that for the top of it. And let's see. Oh, I've got two pieces of it. Oh. So that was 3, so it's 2.5. So I'm going to cut this at 2 5/8. 2 3/8. I'm sorry. 2 3/8 by 5 3/8. And I do have some die cuts as well from this collection. And I think what I'm going to do, instead of a magnet, I'm going to use a die cut as a stopper. So let's put this in here. I do have it. Okay, let me see if I can find one. I think I like this one. So that's a die cut. And if you don't have a die cut and you have a sticker, you can do the same with the stickers. So if I look at the stickers, what would I have done and used? You could have used the ho ho ho, or you could use any of the stickers. And what you want to do is, let me get a scrap piece of cardstock. Do I have a scrap? No, I do. I brought some down. Okay, so I'm going to just go around the edges and ink the edges a little bit before I put it on. And I'm going to add some glue, make sure it stays. Then I'm just going to fussy cut around it. Now, if you use a sticker, you want to make sure that you double up on the cardstock, because you want it heavy enough so it's not going to fold on you if you're going to use it as a stopper like I'm going to do with this die cut. Now, because it's just a die cut, it's so heavy already, I don't have to layer up on the paper. down. And here's what I want to do. I want to put it so this will be able to catch it and use it as a stop. So I don't have to use a magnet now. So this is going to act, well, if I want to get it to stay here. Make sure it's straight. So that's going to be my stopper for this. It's going to work once it glues down, and then I can just bend it back in there and use it as a stopper. Like that. Okay? So I'll go ahead and add more paper to the inside of those after it dries and give you a chance to, because I'm messing with it, it's not going to dry right. So let me leave that there. And then we're going to move on to the next one, which is your going to have a flap using a die cut, or you don't even have to use a die cut. You can just use, since I have some ephemera, I could use something like that, or I could just cover it with paper. And here's the two I have. So I had 3 of these and 3 of the big ones. I'm going to use the ho 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 because I'm using Santa. So I'm going to go ahead and use that one. So that is going to measure out a 3 by 4. So you're going to want to cut your flap to be I believe it's 3 by 4, yeah, 3 by 4. So you're going to cut it to be 3.5. Actually, I'm going to go 3 5/8 by 4 is what I'm cutting this one at. By 4 1/4. So 4 1/8. 4 1/8. And then I'm going to score it on a 1/2 inch on the one side at 1/2 inch. I just had my bone put on. There it is. And then I'm just going to add that right on top, like that. just line it up to make it even. And then I've got my Santa Claus over here, ready to go. There's that one. Turn it over, and the next one is going to be, okay, this is the sneak of it. So when you open this, it shows these two pages, and then I have the flaps coming out. So what you want to do is go ahead and cut your page, 2 more pieces at 5.5 by 6. And then you want to score it on the 1/2 inch side, and then we're going to add that on. And I will tell you, I did not use magnets on this in my book because it's folded in and they don't come out, they stay down, alright? So I didn't use magnets on that one. So all you want to do is go ahead and add your adhesive to your score. So this one is going this way. You want to add this one on your left-hand side. And then on the next page, you're going to add it to your right-hand side. You've got one that opens this way and that way, alright? I did use a journaling card, and this both of these. I just made a photo stop there, and then I made a pocket. I just matted a journaling, and then only put it down on 3 sides, and then made my own tags on this. I haven't decided what paper I'm going to use on this, but I think I do have this one here that I could use, so I think I'll just match it up with that. So let's see what I have here. What papers do I have left over? Let's see. See what I have, you know what, I think I'm just going to use this. I can go with the trees on this one. So I'll do the trees on both of these. And because I don't have, or I could even do those. I may use the trees inside and do these on the outside. Okay, because I don't have another journaling card, what I'm going to do is just make a pocket out of scrap material, cardstock, and then cover it with some other paper. I wonder if I have, that would be cute to have on the back of that one. And then I will just put either a sticker or a die cut or a piece of one of the ephemeras on it, just to keep that. So on this, all I would do is I'll go ahead and cut these down. So we're going to cut them at 5 3/8 by 5 3/8. And then I'm going to mat my journaling card with some scrap paper. Now I have another piece right here. Map that one down. Go ahead and ink my edges on these. I have enough scraps left over with this that I already know I'm going to be able to make little tags and different things with it. So I'll do that after I get the book all together, and then see what I have left, and then go ahead and fill in my pages with that. So this is going to go right here, and all I'm going to do is kind of glue it halfway from the top all the way over. And that's going to go sit right there. So I've got my little tuck spot here. And I do leave it open at the top, but you don't have to. You could close it all the way, but I like it so that if I use the bigger tags in there, make bigger tags, it will work better. So there's your tuck spot on that one. And over here, like I said, I think I'm just going to make a pocket. So let's see what I have here. I have five. So I have a 3 by 5 piece of cardstock, just a scrap piece, that I'm going to go ahead and whip up a pocket with. If I can find what I did with my bone folder again. I know it's in here. There it is. It's down on the bottom. So a 3 by 5, and all I'm going to do is score it on 1/2 inch on 3 sides to make an envelope. Miter my edges there. Now, if you have a cut apart or a journaling card that you can use, go ahead and mat it, like, and just adhere it down on 3 sides to make you a pocket, like I did. And that way you've got a little pocket to add some tags. Just a little bit more embellishment for your book. So, I'm going to add that about here. And that way I'll add a little bit of tags in there. I don't know what paper I'll put on here, but I can use any one of the die cuts. I'm sure there's a piece of ephemera in there that I could probably use as well. I haven't really looked to see what's in there, but or I can use a sticker from the sticker sheet because I have plenty of those. So that Merry Christmas would be pretty right there. I don't know if it'll fit, but once I put paper on there, that would fit. Look at that. That'd be perfect. So I may just use that. And I just got to find paper to what I want to do. I have some green on the solid. That was the matching for this. Let me see if I have it here. I might just use that and put that on there. I don't know. It's not the same color as that one. I'd like to see if I have that same color. That would be cute too, is using that as the border in there instead of the Merry Christmas. So I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but I like that because the green matches on that. So I may just use this and then double up with some. Oh, look, there's the green. No, it's still a little off, but I could use the pink on there. Go pink, red, and then green. Or I can find a pattern piece of paper in here and stuff. I'll be doing something with it, and I'll show you when it's all done. I will take pictures of it when I'm all done. So I think I said I wanted to do, oh, you know what I just did? I put this on backwards. Oh no. See, if you're not watching what you're doing, I don't have this wrong. I put it on wrong. So I need to take that off because it's on there incorrectly. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I did that. But yeah, I can. And I don't put nothing past me anymore. But the nice thing about it is I'm going to cover it with paper so it will hide that when I put paper on there. So my pages need to go like this, and this needed to go like that. So we'll glue this down. See, we all make mistakes, and we're talking, and I wasn't paying any attention. Even though I said in the beginning, make sure your pages are going the right direction. So, that's what I get. But look at that, easy fix. So, easy fix. And let's cut this one and I'll show you. I don't think it's going to show. Let's double check. So, cut these at 5 3/8. And again at 5 3/8. Wow. I hid my air. Okay, there's my next page. Now I will put paper on these two once I go through and find out what I want. And then I'll use stickers and mount them onto cardstock, fussy cut them out, and then add them on here as little paper stoppers for tags and that. So, alright, now we're going to move on to our last two pages, which is our last page and our back of our cover. And that is going to be very simple, as they both are pockets. So what you want to need, let me find them. So you're going to need one for the back cover, and you're going to need one for the page. And this one's going to be a 3.5 by 6.5 for the back page. Go ahead and miter. You want to score it all three sides at a 1/2 inch, and then come in and miter your corners to make a basic pocket. And I don't have paper picked out for these two pages either, so I'm gonna go ahead and hear my pockets down, because with that 1/2 inch I can always slip that paper down into my pocket and it won't show at all. So you want to just go ahead and hear it down. Double check to make sure your pages are going the right way, which I just did, because I don't want to make another mistake. Put your pocket down. And there you go. And then you're going to just cut your paper, top half, and then a piece for here. Okay? What's that one? There's that. And then the back page, you're going to make a pocket, but you're going to cut this pocket at 3.5 by 7. You're going to score it at 1/2 inch on all three sides. Go ahead and cut it down. And the reason you're cutting it at 7 is because your back of your book is actually a 6, whereas your pages are 5.5. So you always want to cut your pocket and measure it out an inch larger than what you want your pocket to be. And I didn't put the hinge down because I will figure out some paper to put on here. I didn't do it on my other book. I didn't end up putting paper on there, but it still looked good without it. But I think this one I'm going to put some paper in. So this is going to go from the edge over to the other side. And it's going to be a pocket that's going to be 6 inches long. That's why we cut it at 7. Just make sure you line them up really good. I don't have mine lined up evenly, because you don't want it hanging over any of the sides, especially here on this edge of the spine, or over here on the edge of the book. You want it nice and flush. So there's our pocket. And then we'll add our pages to our spine or hinge, like that. And then we stick it in. So I still have a few more things to do, but that's your basic. And like I said, once I get this one finished, I will take a picture of it and show it as well. This is using, again, all scrap paper from a collection that I had already made an album with. So this is leftover paper from a collection that I am really using up. And then I've got my 4 photo mats that I'm going to go ahead and cover with paper as well. I'll probably do just one side, and then those are going to fit right there in the side there. See that did not sit down too well. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments below, as I will gladly answer any. Thank you for being patient with me as I throw this together here for you. It's all my mess and an unorganized mess here. Uh, Thanks again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Here is the album I created using the tutorial with the leftover scraps that I had from the Echo Park Merry and Bright collection. So like I had said, I had very little paper to use, but that's the marvelous thing about this little full album is that you can use up those scrap papers. So I did find some ribbon in my stash. I don't even know where I got this from, but it's been around for quite a while, so I thought, well, let's use it. I did layer the paper on the cover with some green cardstock, and then cut down this cut apart journaling card that was a 4x6, and I cut it down. This was on top, so I cut it out and fussy cut around it and stuck it on here. Added a couple of the tags that was in the ephemera pack, and then I went into my stash and found some ribbon just to add to it, and then some these are graphic 45, or not graphic, these are Prima poinsettias, and then these were I don't think they were Prima, I think they were they might have been Prima. And then these as well, the leaves were also from Prima. So I just kind of threw a little bit of it together just to add to my album. I didn't do anything to the spine on this one. I just used the coordinating paper and with the lights, which I thought was just adorable paper. And then the back is just the same as the front, just plain. And then we're going to open it up, and remember I told you I forgot to put a magnet on this one, so I did add a little chipboard piece that I had, and add a magnet under there, and then added the magnet here, and added this in here as a photo mat, so it does have magnetic closure there. I added a chipboard piece onto this, and it is, let's see if I can get a tag here. And it is open, so you can slip a photo underneath it. So that'll make a nice little photo mat for a photo. And then every pocket has a photo mat, which I went ahead and I did all in white. Then I added a piece of strip paper and left it open here so you can actually put a picture down on it. And I did both sides. So it kind of just using up what paper I had left. And this is supposed to be open too, and it is. So it does fit in there with the picture in there, and then I added a few stickers to it as well. So each one is done, and then you're going to flip it over, and then this is the pocket that holds the little mini, and using scraps I matted it with some green cardstock, and I got glue all over my finger, I just noticed, and then I went ahead and matted it with the white paper cardstock, and then added again a little strip of leftover paper, left it open so you can put a picture in there as well on both sides, and then added stickers just to add some little bit of a dimension to it. Over here is our trifold, and like I said, I was going to use seam binding to close mine instead of a magnet. I did pop this one up on Pop Docs, so it gives it a little bit of a push up there of dimension. These are all just green plain paper. I didn't do any stickers on it, and I figured because those are 3x4, they would be perfect size for a little photo. So left that the way it was. And then this flips over, and then we have our stopper here that's holding this down, and so you pull that out, and then I went ahead and I have matted some paper here, so that just fits right in there. This one is, I didn't do anything more to this. I did add some more paper on the back of this to match it up, and then that has the black there. This one also has the photo mat in it, and then as well as this one here. So each one's a little bit different. Like I said, I just used pieces of scrap paper and added to it. This goes back in here as a text spot for a photo. This opens up, and then I went ahead and added a piece of ephemera on here as a text spot. This is an open page. Here on the other side is a little pocket, and I just used some ephemera and made some tags put in there, and added a piece of this border on here. And then again, full landscape page here for photos, and then a little text spot over here as well for a photo. This goes around back in here. The last page is a pocket page as well as the back cover. This one I just have some mats in here that I matted. This was from the ephemera pack. This was from the ephemera pack, and I just laid it onto some cardstock, and this as well I matted onto cardstock. So I put that in here. And then this little booklet, instead of doing mats, I made a little booklet over here, added a piece of the ephemera to the top, and then this is just plain. This I thought you could put 2 photos, smaller photos, or 1 large on each side. So that's that. So that is the album created with scrap leftover paper from another collection that wasn't really enough to do anything with, but I hang on to it, and I'm glad I did, because look at what I was able to create. Another little mini. So I thank you for watching. And again, if you have any questions on the tutorial, don't hesitate to make a comment below. I will respond. And I appreciate, again, all your comments and your sweet remarks. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.